All right, Josh, we caught up on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
And now it's been a month. How's training been going in that last month?
Yeah, good. I think, each year brings all these different new things, and I think I'm just excited to be back to the mile. I think, I've been up at the 3K, 2 mile for a while, and, as soon as Ray was talking about Millrose, I was like, let's get back to the mile and let's compete at the proper distance for me. So, yeah, I'm excited to close out tomorrow.
All right, so how do you see this race potentially playing out?
We have pacers, so it's pretty easy to have an idea what it's going to look like the first 800. I think once that pacer drops out, it'll be interesting. I'm not here for a world record. I'm not. That's not really where my eyes go. I think I just want to come out with a win. So for me, I'm focused on the competitors, focused on kind of their moves, and I have a pretty solid game plan for what I think is going to happen.
So saying you're not here for a world record, is that just because you think it could come as a byproduct of the
race?
It'll
come as a byproduct, I think. Yeah, but it's not a focus. I'm not worried about splits. I'm not, speaking to the pacer like I was for the 2 mile. I think at that point it was like a man v man effort, and obviously Grant put a lot of that work in as well. So for that, the pace was a lot more important, I think. For this, you're putting a quality mile field together, and with a slightly slower mile world record than outdoors. So I think with 3 guys probably that have PBs faster than the world record, it's time to just fight it out and try and figure out who's the best miler right now.
What's your preference on the way the pace request? Obviously, probably maybe you and Yared have different ideas, same ideas, like in terms of just like getting that squeeze in the second half.
Yeah, I think my idea is always I like to go out a little bit slower. I like to either even split or negative split for these attempts. I think when you go out too hard in a 15 or a mile, it's just you're just swimming that third lap, and I think if you have the energy to be able to put a move in when the pacer comes out, then I think that's what's really going to egg you on to run the fast times is the idea.
So this past weekend, Ethan Strand runs 3:48. I think it was like 3:2 or something like that.
Yeah.
What's your reaction seeing these college kids running these fast times now? That's, I guess, only 2 other people are faster than him. One's Yared, and then the other is Kajelchik.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a phenomenal space to be in, is to be a miler right now, and I think in the US it's very, very competitive. So I enjoy watching it. I think they can only send 3 guys to the World Championships, and we can send 4. So I would like to think the Brits are going to still compete, whoever goes there. But I love seeing those college kids run fast. I think they have the facilities to do that. They're now getting paid as much, or if not more, than pros sometimes. So I think they're in a great setup, and I think they're going to be hopefully taking the next step into the professional scene. But yeah, it's definitely you can't get lazy around here. I'll say that.
Does your mind wander as to obviously you've been meticulous about your own racing plans, but knowing that your ultimate goal is the World Championships, to go this fast, this early, plus the college kids have conference, NCAAs, then outdoors and all that stuff. Do you view the collegiates as potential threats come September, knowing that that's a long ways away? It's
a great question. I think we could have said the same about Yared and Cole when they were in college, and I think from my point of view, they have to go through the rounds. A lot of people have gone out and ran fast and not been able to survive the season, but more and more they are able to. So I would say that these guys that are running fast would have the consistency to be able to make it to at least USA's, to make a team. But when it comes down to that kind of August time, that's when we start kind of lining people up and trying to figure out where our strengths lie in comparison to them. So it will be an interesting year. Each year brings a new challenge for sure.
So when we talked last month, you said you were still kind of figuring out your plans, right? Whether World Indoors is going to be the cards. What's the update there?
It's a great question. We've kind of been balancing ideas a lot. One of the ideas is just to run Millrose and then just get ready for Grand Slam. Another idea would be to run Millrose and then hopefully go to Worlds. But it's a really tough balance. I think we need to figure out where we're at first. Once we get that number, when we get that performance out there, then we can analyze and move from there. But Grand Slam is our biggest efforts for the year, so I want to be ready to go for that one. So whatever the decision is, it's going to be ready for those.
Why not Millrose and leaving?
Listen, I wasn't invited. Listen, I think I want to be. I like racing New York. I've done a very similar setup most years, and it works for us. And it is a changing year, so things are always going to be moving around. But yeah, it's a fast track over there, so I'm sure they'll run pretty quick.
The world record gets broken this weekend. Does it last more than 1 week?
I mean, it's lasted a couple of years now, and then I don't know. I think some good mile time trialers in the world. So I don't think it won't last 2 weeks. I'll say that. Yeah.
All right. Appreciate it, Josh.
Thank you so much.